Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Just want to do a quick little video. As you know, the NBA draft is a few days away. And with all the hype and excitement, I have been following the draft picks, the lottery selections, the players, the workouts, the combines, and I wanted to put together a list. Now, this is going to be mostly a Pistons thing, so for the Detroit fans, it's going to hit a little bit better. I did put together who I think is going to get drafted 1 through 15. But again, this is mostly going to be diving into the Detroit Pistons with their selection at number 5 and who I believe they should pick and who I think they will pick. Pretty quick and easy, though. I mean, I just want to cover it, go through it, see what I think, because I've been reading a bunch of stuff on Twitter, on different forums of Detroit fans and who they think, and I want to put my 2 cents out there, what I believe. So just give you all an idea, though. Basically, I'm going to cover draft picks 1 through 4, just quickly slideshow who I think is going to get picked into what team and to why. Then I'm going to cover the Pistons pick at 5. We'll rip into who I believe they're going to choose and why I think that. Then we'll kind of rip through picks 6 through 9, like I said, same way we did 1 through 4. And then I want to talk about pick 10, man, because I see something happening with pick 10 potentially. And then the 5th, just to finish it off, man, we'll just talk about the lottery in general, who I think will be selected. But without further ado, as you all saw from this, from the lottery selection, the San Antonio Spurs got pick 1. And I'll tell you, man, drafting David Robinson, they've drafted Tim Duncan, they've drafted some of the greatest power forwards and centers in NBA history. And Victor Wembanyama, he might be a little too hyped up, but he's 7'5", can shoot the 3 ball. Now, he's not a very good rebounder, even though his stats say otherwise. Watching the games I saw, I shouldn't say he's not a good rebounder. He's not an aggressive rebounder. But overall, he's definitely going number 1. I mean, he averaged 21.6 points per game this year, 3 blocks a game, which is absolutely ridiculous, standing 7'5" with an 8-foot wingspan, which is insane. Can shoot the 3 from deep. He did average 10.4 rebounds, which did surprise me. And he brought Mets 92 all the way to the championship game, where they did get swept, but their team was not nearly, aside from him, they shouldn't have been there. So he is legit. He will go number 1 to the San Antonio Spurs, and I am excited to watch him and Sohan play together. Number 2, I know a lot of people have Brandon Miller going number 2. I think Charlotte Hornets, with the sale, with Michael Jordan selling his stock as the majority owner, I think Charlotte is ready to go a new direction. And LaMelo Ball, he was playing amazing. He got injured last year. But with everything they got going on, going 27-55 last year, they're picking the best available player. They're not picking for, they're not picking for fit. They're picking Scoot Henderson. He's a legitimate athlete. He's got an NBA body already. He's a decent decision maker. His jump shot needs work, but they definitely go with Scoot Henderson. And the only reason I think they don't have a problem with the 2-guard lineup is they're already running LaMelo Ball and Scary Terry. They've been running 2-point guards for years. I think they go with Scoot Henderson, and then they see how it plays out. With the number 3 pick, I do believe Brandon Miller is the 3 pick. I know a lot of folks. Now, this pick is interesting. Portland Trailblazers, they keep saying they're going to keep Dame Lillard. They keep on saying that Lillard's going to stay and they're going to build around him. In my experience, when it comes to the NBA, when a franchise says that they are going to be loyal to a player, they normally aren't. So Dame he's been loyal to Portland. I feel for Portland. I don't know. I could see them trading away this pick and trying to build around Dame Dollar. But in my opinion, with Shaden Sharp, I think they go Brandon Miller, see if he builds around him, and if not, they go full rebuild. But I think Brandon Miller is the 3 pick. He's a legitimate player. He's ready, NBA ready, and he's got a nice jump shot at 38.4% 3. Now, at the number 4 pick, Amen Thompson. Out of the brothers, and y'all know if you've watched my stuff, I am not very high on the Thompson twins. I really am not. They're freak athletes. I think they'll do very, very well in the NBA. Jump shot is they're not good shooters, though. They're not good shooters. And in the current NBA, it's difficult to play on a team if all 5 guys can't shoot because defenses are too smart. Anyway, I do think Amen goes number 4 to the Houston Rockets. They've got a good young core. They've got Jalen Green. They've got Porter Jr. They're high on Porter Jr. I think they go with Amen. They throw him at the 3, and they run that Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Amen Thompson 3 with Sengun at the 5. Man, Rockets are going to be excited. I will watch the Rockets next season. I think that Amen Thompson is their guy. I think they go with him. He's had very good workouts. The Rockets seem very high on him, and I think he goes. Now, the Detroit Pistons, up to the moment y'all have been waiting for. I believe with the 5th pick in the NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Jarace Walker. Now, I've been reading a lot on Twitter about this. I've seen a lot of Pistons fans really, really, really high on Cam Whitmore. I like Cam Whitmore. I want to be very clear. I do enjoy him. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to go quick if we don't select him. And I want to be clear. If we select Cam Whitmore, I'm very happy. I think he's legit, man. I mean, he had a good season. He's a good three-point shooter. He shoots around 30%, 40%. I think low 30s, I believe. But just from the little bit I've seen, I think Jarace Walker is the more NBA-ready player, and Pistons are in a unique position. I keep saying, I've seen a lot of fans saying, Pistons suck, 17-65, you got to pick the best player, pick the best player. Dude, that 17-65 is such a, I don't know, it doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, Cade Cunningham is your guy. He's your guy. He was out the whole entire season. Jaden Ivey at the end of the year was playing some of the best basketball I've seen a rookie play in a long time. Killian Hayes, if he's not the primary guy, if he doesn't have to be relied on for scoring like we had to last year, he's a good 6-man. He plays killer defense. He's a good assist man. He's just not a good shooter. So, I mean, Jalen Duren came out of his shells playing good. We have James Wiseman, who I'm excited to see his development this next year for a full season. We have a lot of good pieces, and Jarace Walker's interesting because he is a 4. I actually think that we're going to start, I don't know, man. We could go all big with Wiseman and Duren, but I don't think Wiseman can shoot good enough for the 4. So my ideal lineup is Cade and Jaden Ivey, obviously, at the guards. I think Jarace Walker is a good enough defender to play the 3. And that's what I want to see happen. I want to see us select him. He's a great defender, which we need a defender. I can see him going to the 3. And then I can see Isaiah Stewart at the 4 with Duren at the 5. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, what about Bojan Bogdanovic? I'm not convinced Bojan stays on the team this year. He had a wonderful season. I love him. I would love to see us grow with him. He's a great veteran. He's a great shooter. He does spread the floor for us. If so, Jarace Walker comes off the bench or he plays the 4, in which case him at the 4 and Duren at the 5, awesome. That actually might even be better. Jarace Walker at the 4 and Duren at the 5 with Bojan at the 3. But anyway, I know his stats don't jump off the page yet with, about 11 points per game, 1 steal per game, a block, and 6 rebounds. But, man, from the film I've seen, from his workouts, he's got a really good IQ. And Troy Weaver is huge on IQ, man. He is big on not stat guys. He's big on basketball players, people who can play all 5 positions, who are smart, who can make the passes, hit the shots. And I think I think he's our pick. So, anyway, I mean, I'll be happy if we go with Cam. I don't really want the Thompson twins. I know everybody's shooting for the Thompson twins. They can't shoot. And I know you're all like, well, they could develop in the NBA. Maybe. But their free throw percentage is 60%. If you can't shoot free throws, it's such a longer road to develop a 3-point shot. So they're not good shooters. They're freak athletes, but I see that bogging up the paint for Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. So, no, Jarace is my guy above all else. I think we take him, and I do see a lot of people trying to push for Taylor Hendricks. I like Taylor Hendricks. If we picked him, I'd be very, very happy, but I do think Jarace Walker has a higher defensive, I don't want to say defensive ceiling, because Taylor Hendricks is very, very good defender. But I like his overall game, but I think he's got a higher IQ. I should say that. Anyway, with the 6th pick in the NBA draft, I think the Orlando Magic go with Anthony Black. Man, right now they have a guard-heavy lineup. Paolo Banchero got overlooked a lot last year. I'll say this. Paolo Banchero last year had an amazing rookie season. He's a future All-Star. I know all the hype with Wembanyama kind of got him lost in the sauce, but Paolo Banchero is their guy. He is their future. Anthony Black fits their criteria, man. He's an oversized guard. He's a good athlete. You know, he's a well-rounded player. I think he fits in with what the Magic are going for. They like those big, oversized guys who can kind of switch off and play multiple positions. I think Anthony Black's their guy. With the 7th pick, I think the Pacers go Cam Whitmore. I know a lot of people, if I tell them that Cam Whitmore drops all the way to 7, they're going to think I'm absolutely crazy. A lot of people think his floor is 5. But I think the Pacers select Cam Whitmore. I like what they did last year. I like their lineup. The Pacers are a fun team to watch with Halliburton and Buddy Hield. And, I mean, they have a good team. So Cam Whitmore, I think, goes there at 7. At 8, I got the other Thompson twin. Wizards just got rid of Bradley Beal. He's gone. Just got announced he's going to the Suns. So that actually got announced like as I was making this video, which is kind of crazy. So this one might change. I can see the Wizards going a different route depending on what they want to do in the future, what their assets are, what they get back. But they really didn't get much for Bradley Beal, in my opinion. Anyway, I think they go with Asar Thompson. He's a good athlete, freak athlete. He can play multiple positions. I think he is a better shooter than Amen. I don't know, but I think that's who they go with. With the 9th pick, I think Taylor Hendricks does go to the Utah Jazz. I believe they have a good guard, the Sexton. They got Walker Kessler at the center position. He's there to stay for a defensive presence. That's what they like. Lauri Markkanen, I think they moved to the 3, and Taylor Hendricks to the 4. And I think with that, they have that oversized lineup with multiple positions who can switch. They've got good perimeter defense, good interior defense. They can hit the 3 ball. I think Taylor Hendricks is their pick. However, I wouldn't be shocked if they pick Grady Dick. And that brings me to the 10th pick, Grady Dick. These ones for me are interchangeable. I think if Utah Jazz selects Grady Dick, then the 10 pick goes to Taylor Hendricks. I think if they pick Taylor Hendricks, then Grady Dick goes number 10. But I see those two either way. And here's why I want to talk about the 10th pick. I think Detroit Pistons trade with the Mavs. I've seen this out there. I know that a lot of people don't think it's going to happen because Mavs are getting fleeced, but Mavericks, in my opinion, are in one of the worst positions in the entire NBA right now. They're good enough to compete, but they're not good enough to win a title. They have a good young player with Luka. Don't have anyone around him. They might sign Kyrie, but now you got 2 guards with no role players. They don't have picks. They're in a tough position. So they could keep this pick and see who they can get around Luka Doncic, but I think they try to sign Kyrie. Because Luka, he's not going to sit around for a rebuild. Luka doesn't want to wait another 4 or 5 years for a rebuild. He wants to win now, and he deserves to win now. So I think Detroit can get off Bojan Bogdanovic. I think we can trade him and maybe a couple other things, some assets, to the Mavs. I think we get the 10th pick, and we end up picking either Grady Dick or we pick Taylor Hendricks. Whoever's out of the 2, I think that's who we go with. So overall, man, I tell you, when we first got the 5th pick, like most Detroit fans, I was bummed. I was a little upset. But I think this is the right draft to fall to 5. There are some great assets. We ended up getting Jaden Ivey at 5 last year, which is amazing. In a crazy scenario, I could even see Brandon Miller falling to 5, in which case I think we do select him. But overall, my draft picks, I got Victor Wembanyama going number 1. I got Scoot Henderson going number 2. I got Brandon Miller going 3. I got Amen Thompson at 4, Jarris Walker at 5. Now, in the back half, I got Anthony Black, Cam Whitmore, Asar Thompson, Taylor Hendricks, and Grady Dick. Again, Taylor Hendricks and Grady Dick, I think, are interchangeable at that 9-10. And then 11 through 15, I don't know a whole lot about these players. I was just going based on highlight film, stats, and team needs. So I do think Jordan Hawkins, Koulibaly, I watched him a little bit with Match 92. I might say his name wrong. Cason Wallace, Derek Lively, too, and Noah Clowney will go there. Again, I haven't watched those players live, but just based on team needs, highlights, and what I'm reading in the reports, I think that's it. So overall, I think it's an exciting draft. I think Pistons have a lot to look forward to, and in Troy Weaver, we trust. So thanks for tuning in, man. Comment what you think below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Like it if you didn't enjoy it. Just throw a like on it. I don't really care. And comment down below what y'all think is going to happen. We got a couple days before the draft, and I think it's exciting. So what do y'all think?